Why would they force her to marry because she's an orphan? Not just marry, but marry a poor man?
It was a bright day in Obudu many years ago. To Ijeoma and Kpabio, the day was very unusual. It's a day they wouldn't forget in a hurry. Ijeoma and Kpabio have been married for 5 years, but in spite of all their many efforts, they have not had any child. But this very day, they got a call that a 4-year-old girl is up for adoption. Her parents had passed on a few months ago when there was some gas explosion around their farm. The little girl, Pam, was in school. Someone took her up temporarily while looking for a home where she would be properly cared for. Then, Ijeoma and Kpabio were contacted to see if they were interested. They jumped at it. On that sunny day, they went and collected Pam. Pam didn't know what to expect. While she remembers what her parents looked like, it was difficult for her to understand that she would never see them again in this life. She remembers how her mom would sing her songs and teach her to sing some of them. Then, Pam was told she now has a new mom and a new dad. Kpabio told Pam as they got to the house, "Pam, you are a beautiful girl. You are a good girl. Always remember, we are not just your dad and your mom. We are your friends." Pam smiled weakly. Ijeoma gave her a plate of jollof rice to eat, and her eyes widened as she saw the food. She looked up at the smiling new dad and new mom, and they said, "Yes, Pam, eat. It is specially made for you. Just eat and be happy. We are here for you, remember?" She smiled weakly again and started eating. A few months later, Ijeoma became pregnant. It was a real miracle because they had given up and stopped worrying about having their own biological children. They were happy to have Pam, and Pam was becoming more and more lovable as days went by. She was doing very well at school too. Her teachers in her new school in Obudu loved her too. Her teacher's remarks on her termly report sheet would often be, "Pam is diligent, excellent, well-behaved, and friendly." Ijeoma and Kpabio are her proud parents and would attend every PTA meeting the school invites them to. Ijeoma is happy. Pam is happy she would have a sibling to play with. One day she told Ijeoma, "Mommy, I'll take my baby to school when my baby comes." Ijeoma said, "Yes, you will." Pam said, "I will not allow anybody beat my baby." Ijeoma smiled and said, "No, you wouldn't let them at all." Soon, Ijeoma started having labor cramps, and the next day, the babies arrived. Yes, Ijeoma had twin baby girls, beautiful Doka and Kosa. Pam was ecstatic. She now has not just one, but two babies, two siblings. For being busy with the babies, Pam was receiving less and less attention from Ijeoma. And Kpabio is often out. Kpabio came home one evening with a bag of toys. Pam was happily looking as Kpabio unboxed the toys, but none was for Pam. She asked, "Daddy, where's my own?" Kpabio said, "Oh, Pam, I'll buy yours another day." It registered in Pam's brain. The one that made her cry one day was when she had a homework that she needed Ijeoma to help her with. But Ijeoma said, "Pam, go ahead and do it, okay? Doka and Kosa need my attention. Attend to the homework, okay?" Pam sulked and went and did her homework all alone. This became a pattern. Being kind and being just a child, Pam stopped asking Ijeoma for help with her homework because she was also interested in her siblings being taken proper care of. Doka and Kosa grew fast. Their first teacher was Mom. The next teacher was Pam. they were doing well in school too. Soon they were teenagers and friends. Sadly, Kpabio went out one day and never came back again. Road safety men came and reported that there had been a mishap. Unfortunately, Kpabio didn't survive. Ijeoma became a father and a mother to her beautiful daughters. Sadly again, she started treating Pam differently. She sent Pam to a secondary school in the neighborhood, while she sent Doka and Kosa to a private school with better facilities and better teachers. Something strange happened. One day, the twins, Doka and Kosa, were arranging their late father's files in the bedroom he shared with their mom and stumbled on a document of adoption bearing Pam's name. "Oh, really? Pam, you are not really our sister after all. You don't really belong here. Daddy and mommy are not your biological parents." Doka and Kosa were giggling as they threw this bomb. Pam had no words to speak. They continued, "You should go back to where you came from, oh." And Pam had no place to go to. She would have left the house for them, but she just had no place to go to. At home, while Kosa and Doka were reading or watching the television, Pam was doing chores, from fixing their meals to cleaning up the house to washing everyone's clothes. Doka and Kosa would even send her on errands. One day, she was mopping the floor and Kosa on purpose stepped on the floor with her dirty feet. She then commanded, "Clean that place again, oh. You can see it's dirty." Sometimes Doka would pour water on the floor and rudely tell Pam to clean the floor. Ijeoma hardly entered the kitchen anymore. Pam did everything. Pam wasn't happy about the way Ijeoma changed and treated her as if she didn't belong to the family, as if she was a nanny to the family. However, in all this, Pam was becoming more and more beautiful. While Ijeoma and her daughters treated her like a second-class citizen, her beauty shone like that of a top-class citizen. Ijeoma was beginning to feel for her biological daughters. She wanted Pam to leave the house. She felt that Pam's beauty was making her own daughters look ugly. She started nursing the idea of pushing Pam away or pushing her into marrying a poor man, whether Pam liked him or not. Pam has a friend named Eddie, who is an upcoming young professional. He likes Pam and talks with her quite some each time they meet. Occasionally, he would come to the house to look for Pam. The twins, Doka and Kosa, would like to get his attention, but he prefers to talk to Pam. One day he came and Ijeoma met him at the gate. She asked, "It's like you are looking for Pam?" Eddie said, "Yes, ma." Ijeoma said, "Pam is about to get married though. She's engaged to marry one man like that. She didn't tell you?" Eddie answered weakly, "No, she did not." Eddie turned back feeling like someone carrying 10 bags of cement. He had not proposed to Pam, all right, but he was building up to it. He began to talk to himself, soliloquizing. How did this happen? And why didn't Pam, that I had almost trusted my life with, tell me she was engaged? Why did she do this? How would I ever trust another girl? How? Eddie developed deep coldness towards Pam, and even when Pam asked him why he became unfriendly, Eddie refused to talk to Pam. Pam left it as a sour friendship and moved on. Ijeoma's car broke down one day that she went to buy groceries for the house. She entered a tricycle to bring her home. The tricycle driver was quite respectful and chatty. Pam came out to carry the things Ijeoma bought from the market. Doka and Kosa hugged their mom and walked into the house while Pam carried all the things. She couldn't carry all of them once, so she kept going up and down till she got everything into the house. The next day, the tricycle driver came back to the house because he found 2 heads of coconuts that rolled under the seat. They rolled off one of the bags and Pam never saw them. When Ijeoma came out to see who was knocking, the tricycle man Habo greeted her politely and gave her the 2 coconut heads. She thanked him and wanted to go inside when Habo said, "Mommy, I dey look for wife oh. You get fine girls here. You go let me marry one of them?" Ijeoma laughed and said, No, how can? You cannot marry my daughters oh. Habo asked, "But mommy, why?" She said, "Let your keke feed you first before you start looking for someone to marry." Suddenly, she remembers she has been nursing the idea of pushing Pam into marriage to get her out of her house and out of her daughter's way. Then she said, okay, what's your name?" He said, "Habo." "Okay, come back tomorrow. I have one you will marry." Habo already conversed with Pam while she was walking up and down carrying stuff into the house. He very much hoped it was this hard-working, respectful girl that the woman would allow him marry and not any of the other ones. That day, Habo washed his torn t-shirt and wore it to meet Ijeoma and her daughter. Ijeoma called Pam. She came and greeted and was about to leave when Ijeoma said, "Pam, sit down, please. This keke man came for you. He said he wants to marry you and he is just right for you. I'm telling you." Pam protested, "Mommy, but I don't know him." Ijeoma said, "Know him how? Is it his picture you are seeing? This is Habo himself. What is there to know again? Our culture in this Obudu is that a man sees a woman and if he wants to marry her, he goes to the woman's people and declare his intentions. Then he brings 2 crates of malt and a bottle of wine, and bride price is according to what he has. As he is a keke man, he may not have that much. He can just pay 1,000 naira. The bottle of wine will go to your late father's brother." Pam was happy and unhappy at the same time. She was happy that she would leave home, happy that the man looks very kind and respectful. She was unhappy that her mom is pushing her to marry someone she hardly knows. The Eddie she knows suddenly blanked off their friendship. Doka and Kosa were giggling at her. They mocked her that she was going to marry a keke man that wears dirty torn shirts. They mocked that the keke doesn't even belong to the man, that he is driving it for someone who pays him small salary weekly. Doka said, "Yes, it's better for you to leave our house. Please, go and marry him. If it's both of you, I hope sure that he is not homeless." Kosa said, "Even if he is, he has keke. Both of them will be sleeping inside their keke limousine." Pam is not one to respond to their rudeness. Eventually, Pam considered that marrying Habo is better for her than dwelling in this house of torture. It is like choosing between slavery in Egypt and the Red Sea. At the Red Sea, there's a likelihood of a miracle. Habo is a keke driver. His beginning may be small, but his latter end would likely increase. Also, Ijeoma had threatened her that she would either marry Habo or get thrown into the streets. Ijeoma organized everything very fast and Habo took Pam as wife. He was living in a boys' quarters in another part of town. They lived there together, talking to each other, learning to know each other. Pam was just up and about, making their room more organized. She was doing laundry outside one day when Doka and Kosa came by to mock her. Kosa said, "Hey, Pam, this is where you have ended up. We are happy that you have left our house for us. See where you live. Such a dingy, smelly environment." Doka said, "I can hardly breathe. I don't know how you people live here. If you had just behaved yourself, Mommy would have allowed you to stay and marry into better comfort. Now see where you are." Pam answered this time, "We may be poor, but it is just our starting point. I am free. I enjoy my freedom from household wickedness, family cruelty. I am happy and free." Doka said, "I don't know what you are talking about, but just make sure you don't ever come home begging for food." And they left. Habo had traveled. He came home after 1 week and brought a G-Wagon. He dressed up in a clean, sharp attire. He came, opened his shirt, and showed Palm a pendant that he is wearing. That pendant is over 500 years old. There's only one such pendant that's been handed over from generation to generation in this country. Palm was confused. She didn't know what the pendant was anyway. She only saw and marveled that the harbor she married was looking top class. Then Harbor explained, "I am a prince. Not just a prince, Palm. I am the heir apparent. I am the next to the throne of our rich kingdom of Opobo. I am born a multi-billionaire, and I have since multiplied the billions I was given to multi-billions. We shall leave for Opobo tomorrow. I went to get my people ready to receive you in particular and receive us. I came out to just find a wife. We shall go see your people today before we leave tomorrow." He already had a beautiful dress for Palm for the visit. She quickly dressed up and they drove in the G-Wagon to Ijeoma's house. When they walked in, they hardly recognized the harbor, the keke man. Harbor said, "Thank you so very much for the lovely wife you gave me. She's lovely inside and out. I am Harbor. I am not a keke driver. I am a multi-billionaire prince of Opobo. We came to say goodbye as we journey to Opobo tomorrow. But before we leave, bride price is according to how much the groom can afford. I agreed to pay 1,000 naira that day. But no, here's 1 million naira. You threw Palm out because she's an orphan. But God has something big waiting for her. Whenever the great king, my father, passes, my wife, the Palm you threw out, would become the queen of Opobo. Goodbye." He took Palm's hand and started walking out to the waiting G-Wagon. Doka and Kosa were shocked. Ijeoma almost fainted. But she said, "We want you to remember, Palm, that this is your home. Oh. You are welcome anytime." Harbor responded, "That is a discussion for another day, not today," and they left. Doka began to throw blames at Kosa. Kosa said, "It's you, Doka. You were meanest to her. Now you have closed the doors. Imagine our big sister is a billionaire prince's wife, and we are here just wasting." Doka said, "Stop that. With this economy self, we can't even afford to eat well. I don't even know how to go and beg her." Ijeoma was at one side crying. "What did I do? This man should have married Doka or Kosa, or even married both of them. What did I just do? This 1 million naira is all that we have. All that we have. What did I do to myself and my daughters?" Wow. Ijeoma had evil thoughts and wanted the worst for Palm, but she wanted the best for her twin daughters, Doka and Kosa. She thought she would finish Palm and push her into a dirty pit, but she never knew she was pushing her into heaven on earth. Why would an adopted child be treated differently from the ones that are biological children? Why? In this case and in other cases in real life, it's the presence of the adopted child that made the woman happy and relaxed enough to get pregnant after years of trying. Please let's read your thoughts at the comment section below. Yes, let's talk about this. Have you, like I have, seen this type of relegating the adopted child to the background when biological children come? Should there be a difference in treatment between the adopted orphan and the biological children? Please share your thoughts on this at the comment section. Let's really have a good discussion on this. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, please. If you do give that thumbs up, it tells YouTube that you like the story. It also tells YouTube that it is a good story. They will then send the video to millions of others to watch and enjoy. That way, you are also helping our channel grow, and for that, thank you. Also, please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Click the bell icon also so you would be the first to know when we upload another beautiful story. And if you have subscribed already, thank you so very much. Till we bring another beautiful story your way, remain truly phenomenal. This is African Folktales ChinChin. Goodbye.